guys? Welcome back to In the Pressbox, episode 28. First, we have a special announcement from the Predators, then the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, French Open, MLB. Let's talk balls, college baseball, and more. And then we round out with predictions and closure. My name is Benjamin, and you guys are?
I'm Alex.
Aiden.
All right, let's get into it. So we're going to turn the hosting duties over to Alex because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I'm on a phone call, as you can probably tell by now, so we apologize for the audio. But
We're going across country
from the Predators.
We're going across country around here.
Yeah, sure are.
And I don't know if Benjamin said this. I think he did. Special announcement from Predators. John Hines has been fired. What do you think about that, Benjamin and Aiden?
Well, I mean, I think it was time, to move on from him. I'm really glad that we did. I like the replacement that we hired. He scored the first goal. Fun fact, he scored the first goal in Nashville Predators franchise history. So that's kind of cool. The very first coach as the GM. And then the coach is going to be the very first player to score a goal for the Predators. So that's nice. As for Hines, I think he is a 500 coach. He only lasted 5 years. I saw that he had interest from the New York Rangers and people like that. But, yeah, otherwise, wish Hines well, but, happy that we fired him. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, Aiden, what do you kind of think about this situation? I know we kind of not necessarily talked negatively about Hines, but we've kind of been having high expectations, and he hasn't really been letting up to those expectations, as you would kind of say.
Yeah, Alice, I agree with you. The expectations that I don't think have been met yet, and we'll just have to see what happens.
All right, now
it's high expectations in an organization because if we made the playoffs, right? When you make the playoffs, 10 years in a row or something like that, the expectations of the bar is going to be raised high. He didn't make the playoffs, didn't meet those expectations. He's fired. There you go. I mean, that's just the expectations. It's playoffs or nothing.
Yeah.
At this point. So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, and he's kind of wasted a lot of players' prime years and kind of gotten rid of a lot of talent, and it's going to be hard to kind of correct his mistakes, as you kind of call it. We're having a lot of movement in, obviously, coaching staff without not only being John Hines being fired, but the assistant being fired, GM leaving. I mean, no. Was GM or president? I can't remember. Crap. I sound like an idiot now.
Well, David Poyle was the GM.
Yeah.
So,
he's leaving. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of office movement and coaching movement. And hopefully that'll bring some good, positive player movement, picking a couple people in free agency.
Yeah, let me just give a little breakdown of who we're hiring here. So his name's Andrew Brunette. So he played for the Predators for a few years here. Scored our very first ever franchise goal. They actually introduced him just a little bit ago. Doesn't have a lot of experience necessarily in coaching yet. He did take over the Florida Panthers as an interim after their coach was fired and led them to the best record in the league. Has one of the best coaching records and resume. He did get fired and replaced with somebody after he had a DUI incident on a golf cart.
How do you have a DUI on a golf cart?
I mean, I don't know what he was doing there. Apparently, he was drinking too much, had DUI on a golf cart, or I don't know what happened. So that's kind of, that's happening. And also keep in mind, June 1st, the reins officially go over to Barry Trotz. David Poyle's been a long-time GM. In fact, our only GM. But starting June 1st, David Poyle resigns as GM and it goes to Barry Trotz. That's also when Andrew Brunette comes in. So kind of a lot of big changes, but I think Brunette has a great coaching resume.
Which is tomorrow, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So by the time you're watching, probably.
Yeah. but I like Brunette has a great coaching resume. I think he's going to be a great coach. But yeah.
Yeah, and now I think we can kind of move on to NBA Finals if that's okay with y'all.
It's okay with me.
Okay, this year's edition of NBA Finals sees the Heat take on the Nuggets. The Nuggets dominated in the West to reach the finals, and Heat fought their way through the East to reach the finals. Jokic and Murray lead the Nuggets against Butler and Love. Who will win? What are y'all's kind of predictions about how this series is kind of going to go?
Well, I think, I mean, I think personally, if I can go first, the series is going to be really interesting. I got it going about probably 6 games, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting series.
I think it's gonna go game 6 or 7, and I think the Heat are gonna win the series.
Yeah, the 5-6 games is kind of how I have it. The Nuggets like to win series quick, and the Heat are kind of like the opposite. So, but I think ultimately the Nuggets may not necessarily win, but they're going to have control over the series, and I think it can go to 5-6. I don't really see it in 7. If it has to go to 7, the Nuggets are winning it. But maybe 5-6 games. If the Heat can go out there early, they kind of got momentum, but Nuggets got the rest. So, kind of what do y'all want to see here? Y'all have momentum or rest? What's kind of going to be the biggest key factor? And that's kind of who's going to win. Whatever y'all think that biggest factor.
You're right about that. It's momentum versus rest, right? The Heat come off of the Game 7 win against the Celtics just a couple of nights ago, but they don't have a lot of rest. Meanwhile, the Nuggets have just been chilling on their couches for about a week and a half now. So what I kind of wonder is what if the Nuggets kind of come out rusty, or will it be the opposite, which is the Heat are exhausted and the Nuggets are well rested? So it's, in my opinion, it's which team is more disciplined, which team does their job. If the Nuggets have been resting but working, I think that they're going to do really well. If the Nuggets have just been chilling and doing, not enough work, not enough urgency in practice, they won't do so well. And I know that the Heat, they have, what's his name? I think it's Shane Spoelstra, their coach, right?
Yeah.
Eric Spoelstra. That is an elite level coach. That is a dynasty coach right there. And I can tell you, he's going to be coaching the Heat really well. I would not be surprised if the Heat win the championship and really shock the NBA world. I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also this kind of rivalry kind of goes up to the earlier the season. Y'all remember when Jokic kind of got in that little scuffle on that like kind of dirty pick, and the Heat was trying to fight Jokic by the locker room. Y'all remember that kind of earlier in the season?
Oh, that's right. Because Butler was like mouthing stuff like "meet me outside the locker room" and like craziness, because it was like not a great play by Jokic.
Yeah, do y'all think they'll have anything to do kind of with the series?
Oh, I think this is gonna be a really, really entertaining series. Like, I really think that this is gonna be an amazing NBA Finals, because just like you said, they have the components of one's a dynasty, one's an upcoming team. You've got superstar players, right? And you've got even sort of a rivalry and a kind of a unfinished business from earlier in the season. So I don't know. It's got a lot of great components.
Okay.
I don't know. What does Aiden think?
I agree with you, Benjamin. I think there's a lot of interesting things about this series. From both teams, like who will be the better team, or will it rely on resting, or will it rely on more of it's just there's a lot of things that definitely can impact both teams in a negative or positive way, and it's going to be really interesting to see the Nuggets. Obviously, the first final appearance, the Heat. Obviously, they've won the finals past recent decade or whatever with LeBron James, but it's really going to be interesting to see a whole new Heat team and the Nuggets team. They're both going to be ready for the series, and it's going to be interesting.
All right, and kind of say some couple questions here that I have for y'all. First of all, is who will be the NBA Finals MVP? I know we had like earlier predictions earlier this season. We all kind of got that pretty much wrong. Uh, what do y'all have right now for the Heat or the Nuggets?
I have Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah, NBA Finals MVP.
Yes.
All right, who wants? You want me to go first or Aiden?
Doesn't matter. You can go first if you want.
All right, I'll go first. So if the Nuggets win, I'm gonna go. I think Jokic. Jokic is gonna be the main man. If the Heat win, I'm gonna go with Jimmy Butler. I know it's kind of boring, but that's just I think each of those players will determine the series.
I agree with Benjamin. Nikola Jokic for the Nuggets, and then if the Heat win, Jimmy Bucket.
Okay, I think I might agree with y'all on the Nuggets, but just I think Jimmy Butler. That's obviously valid. He's probably going to win it for the Heat, but kind of taking away spotlight from Jimmy Butler, I can potentially see Lowry, Hero, or on the bio winning it, but or Love, obviously. But I think I'm gonna go with Tyler Hero.
All right,
And
I can see that.
speaking of who is an underrated player for each team, well, I'm gonna kind of lead the way for that. Kind of like the Heat. I gotta go with Hero. Obviously, kind of young career out of Kentucky. I mean, we don't like Kentucky in college, but why don't we like Kentucky in the big NBA? Because they kind of dominate. Tyler Heroes and doing well. Just like in the Jack Harlow song, the ones that hate me the most are just like me. Silencing the crowd, and for the Nuggets, most underrated player. You know what? Get back to me, Benjamin. What do you kind of have for most underrated player for each team?
Okay, so for the Nuggets, I'm gonna start off with the Nuggets. I'm gonna go with Aaron Gordon. I know that he is in like the starting rotation, but Aaron Gordon's gonna play a big part in this series, right? How does he defend the Heat attack, right? And I remember when Aaron Gordon, right? Aaron Gordon really in that game 4 a couple weeks ago really helped carry the team there at the end. And I feel like if Aaron Gordon is on point in this series, Nuggets win in a breeze. Like if Aaron Gordon is, dropping 20, 21, or if he's getting a lot of blocks, a lot of rebounds, this series is over. You can say night-night. I say 4 or 5 games. That's how big of a player and how underrated I think Aaron Gordon is. For the Heat, I'm going to go with Kevin Love. Kevin Love, I know it's kind of, again, a little bit of a boring pick, but Kevin Love brings that NBA Finals experience. I actually just saw a stat that Kevin Love has never been to a playoffs without making the NBA Finals or winning. So Kevin Love is going to bring a great veteran presence. He helped that team in Game 7, right? They lose the 3 games. Backs are against the wall. Kevin Love apparently gave them a pep talk, right? Was jumping around on the court saying, we need more energy, right? We need to, play like a serious team. We need to get more energy, more discipline. And I think Kevin Love is going to be a big key for the Heat. Underrated player.
All right, I kind of have a couple here. Kind of on the bench. Caldwell Pope is a good option. I think DeAndre Jordan is a good option, especially when Nikola Jokic is not out there. Because Nikola Jokic is going to be out there for a major part, and he's going to put out their best defenders, and they're probably going to rest their best defenders while Nikola Jokic is on the bench. And when he's on the bench, DeAndre Jordan is going to be out there maybe tearing up. His career average is 10.2 points. Is 9 points per game, but this year he's kind of a little slower with 5.1. So maybe he could get that to 12 points per game this series, and maybe get the underrated player. But I would say my most underrated player would be Reggie Jackson, 10.2 points per game, 2.1 points per game. Kind of dominant with 3.4 assists. And he's kind of on his last run here. He's a little bit older. But I think he's definitely going to make an impact on the floor.
Yep, those are good picks. What does Aiden think?
Well, I agree with you.
With who?
With Alex.
Who did I say?
I don't know.
I can't believe. All right, so we'll just say Aiden thinks Reggie Jackson, Caldwell Pope. We'll get into that. Alex, what's the next question here that you got for us?
Okay, the next question is who do you think will perform better, Jokic or Butler?
Ooh. All right, I'll go first on this one. I'm gonna go. You know what? I think. Oh man, this is a tough question. This is actually a really tough question because I feel like whoever wins this series, right? That's gonna be. You know what? I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler, barely.
I'm also going to agree with Benjamin. I'm going to say Jimmy Butler.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm sorry. I'm going to go Nikola Jokic, actually. Nikola Jokic will perform better in this series overall.
Okay, yeah, I'm going with Nikola Jokic. I think the Nuggets have the firepower to stop Jimmy Butler, but really no team, especially the Heat, kind of have an option to stop Nikola Jokic. It's going to be his game, his way, his series.
Yep.
And how many games? We kind of already answered this. How many games do you think? Do you see the finals going?
I got 6 games.
I also have 6 games.
I have 5 or 6, and so I'm gonna go with 5.5. All right, and kind of the last question here: who do you see winning the MVP? Well, first of all, let me add another question before we say this last question. Did you see this series even like any of these teams getting in? I know the Nuggets were the number 1 team, but did you see this finals like at all? Like
not even remotely.
No.
not.
Literally not even in consideration remotely for me.
No.
Personally, we really got the predictions wrong. I gotta admit.
Yeah, I'm actually this. I was gonna watch the NBA like predictions, like little segment or probably long segment, and see how bad we were. But yeah, it's certainly not what we expected, and sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Personally, I think it's a good thing in this scenario. But anyway, who do you think will win the 2023 NBA Finals?
All right. Here's my prediction. My official NBA Finals prediction. Are you ready? I'm going to give a full, entire breakdown on how I see it going, okay? Just going to throw it all out there. I have the Miami Heat winning in 6 games, but I see Nikola Jokic performing better than Jimmy Butler. I see Jokic kind of carrying his team a lot. I see Murray and Jokic being a good dynamic duo, but the rest of the players around them struggle. I see Jimmy Butler averaging maybe about 20 points a game, 21 points, not the best, right? But the rest of the players around him perform well, okay? I see the Nuggets getting the first 2 games of the series, and then the Heat responding by getting the next 2 games and all of the rest of the games there. I see the Heat going on a roll. And then I see in the final game, Jimmy Butler dropping about 40 points and winning the NBA Finals MVP in Game 6 to close it out. So there you go. That's my full prediction. My full entire prediction. That's going to probably be wrong, but there you go. Heat win in 6.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with that a little bit. I think the Nuggets are going to take the first 2 games. The Heat's going to bounce back 2 games. But I think the Nuggets are going to take the next 2 games, make it the 6-game series, 2-2-2. I think whoever's going to be at home is going to take this series pretty much. And Nuggets are going to have the advantage of that. And I think Nikola Jokic is going to be dropping 30 points per game. And kind of like you said about Jimmy Butler, the last game go off. I'm gonna have to say the same thing, but for Nikola Jokic. maybe dropping 46 points. That's my exact amount as he takes the NBA Finals MVP.
Hey, I want to throw it out there. I said right. You can write this down. I was gonna say 43 points for Jimmy Butler. Just for a number there.
And Aiden, what do you kind of have to think?
So I'm gonna be like Benjamin. I'm gonna break down the whole series on how I think it's all gonna go down. All right. So here's what I'm gonna say. So game one. Let me see here. Let me pull up who's in the finals. I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna pull up the. All right. So game one. All right. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. The fans are on their feet. It's at Denver. Nuggets and Heat. And here's what's gonna happen. The Nuggets, they're gonna be well rested and they're gonna be ready for the Heat, who have just went off to beat the Celtics in Game 7. The Nuggets take Game 1. Now with their momentum, they're fired up. The fans are still ready. And the next day, Game 2, the Nuggets once again take down Jimmy Buckets and the Heat, and the Nuggets are now up 2-0. But the Heat are tired of this. They say, we're not going to let this happen. So then they pull up to Miami and they go lights out. I'm talking Jimmy Buckets is going to score around 40 points, and he's going to have an NBA Finals caliber game that will really seal the deal for the win. So now 2-1. The Nuggets are still up. And then we have a Game 4 on the line. We're still in Miami. And then here's what happens. The Jimmy Butler, coming off a remarkable game from Game 3, comes in, drops another 30 to 40 points. But it's not enough. The Nuggets, Nikola Jokic is on fire that game as well. And it's a battle back and forth. And the Nuggets, in a buzzer beater win, takes Game 4. The Nuggets are now up 3-1, with all hopes lost for Jimmy Butler in the Heat. But they know they must fight and battle the whole series if they want to win. So, where's Game 5 taking place at? Hold on. Denver. So, they're going to travel back to Denver. It's going to be about that. Wait, when's Game 5? What day?
I think next.
Like I think it's like a stat. I think it's like next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, probably. All right.
I think it's a week from now.
It's gonna be all right. Just pretend it's next Wednesday. I'm not for sure. Denver, Colorado. It's gonna be about 50. It's gonna be like around 75 degrees. A little cloudy outside.
What?
The fans are about. The fans are now hyped. They think they have the series locked away, and they think that they're going to witness their first NBA Finals win. But the Heat are also ready to battle. So in Game 5, it's a whole showdown, going back and forth once again, and we have Nikola Jokic dropping about 25 points. And then Jimmy Butler, he is unstoppable. He is making headlines all over ESPN because guess what? He will drop 56 points in Game 5. And the Heat will take Game 5. It's now 3-2. The Nuggets are a little shocked that the Heat are playing this well. So in Game 6, it's probably still in Denver, right?
No, it's in Miami.
Gosh, they traveled all the way back to Miami and now the Miami fans are loud. Nikola, it's almost over. The Nuggets are fixing to win. Nikola Jokic takes the shot, but oh my gosh, he collapses on the floor with a broken ankle. Now Nikola Jokic can't move.
This is so specific.
Nikola Jokic can't move. He can't walk. He's unable to breathe. He's out of breath, and the fans are shocked. Nikola Jokic won't be able to play the rest of the finals. now the whole Heat's bench is all fired up. Now they lost their most valuable player, and the Nuggets can't seem to have anything going momentum-wise without Nikola Jokic. So they struggle the rest of the finals. The Heat will take Game 6, and now it's 3-3. They travel back to Denver for the final time. Nikola Jokic is on. Nikola Jokic is unable to attend the game while still having surgery on his ankle. So the Nuggets can't find a way to get past Jimmy Buckets. So Himmy Butler goes in and drops 87 points.
What?
What the heck?
And
Okay,
Game
I
7
forgot.
goes to the Heat, and the fans are in disappointment, but the Heat fans know that Jimmy Butler is there, and the Heat have won the NBA Finals, and Jimmy Butler is crowned your Finals MVP. So that's how I think everything's going to go down. Do y'all guys agree with me?
Crazy.
All right, that took way too long, and just let you know on the question I asked to how much games you'll go, you said 6. Now it's 7. So I think you just added an extra game just for the fun of it.
For the hype and the drama.
Yeah. But anyway, to answer that question, who will win? I had Nuggets, Benjamin had Heat, and Aiden had Heat. So as a whole, we had Heat winning. But anyway, that is the NBA Finals. The Heat have been dominant dynasty while the Nuggets are in the finals for the first time in franchise history. With that being said, it's Heat versus Nuggets in the NBA Finals and ABC. Now let's move on.
Let's go.
Now let's move on to the Stanley Cup. Right now, the other major final seeds, the Panthers battle the Knights. The Panthers have been a surprising team in all of sports, being the last team to make it in the playoffs, defeating some of the best teams in the playoffs. The Knights have been resurgent, making it into the finals after missing the playoffs entirely last year. The Stanley Cup should be a real interesting one. It all starts Saturday on TNT. And here are some questions for our host. Who will be the star player of the Stanley Cup?
I'm going to go with Matthew Tkachuk.
I'm going with the hard hitter himself. I'm going with Tkachuk too. So Aiden, you cannot go the same person because that'd just be boring.
I'm going to go with that, the same as y'all guys went with.
I mean, hey, I can't blame him. He's literally a superstar. Hello, it's Benjamin Rhea, and I just wanted to say the Aiden and Alex is very cute, and my favorite team is the Tennessee Volunteers.
Who's that?
Bro, turn that off.
What is that?
You put the voice, like the little voice thing. You took my voice and created that.
What? Was that Austin or is that Aiden? Who did that? Okay, so anyway, that's certainly a good player. Kind of going to be dominant. Who do you think is an underrated player for each team?
For the Panthers, I'm gonna go with Sergei Bobrovsky, their goaltender. I think he needs to have a big Stanley Cup. And for the Knights, I'm gonna go with. Hold on, let me look here. I had the player in mind. I forgot his name. Hold on. Hold on here. Yeah, I mean, but the main one there. For the Knights, I'm gonna go with Mark Stone. Mark Stone, hard hitting player. He needs to be big.
Yeah, for the Panthers, I'm going with Nick Cousins.
I like that one.
And for the Knights, I'm going with the man of the myth, Brett Howden.
I like that one too. That's an underrated player. What does Aiden think?
I agree with both of y'all guys. You know, they're both outstanding players.
Was
All
that?
right, so what's the next question?
And also, I can see Braden McNabb. Okay, now moving on to the next question. Who will win and lay their hands on the Stanley Cup?
All right, I'm gonna break it down. Not as long as Aiden's, but I'm gonna break it down. Okay, game one. It's gonna be in Vegas. I see the Knights taking game one. I see the Panthers taking game two. Game three heads to the Panthers. Game four heads to the Knights. Back and forth type of series. I'm going to see the Knights taking game five. Panthers take game six to even out the series. And in game seven, the Knights take game seven. Knights win the Stanley Cup in 7 games. Matthew Tkachuk, again, kind of like my last prediction, Matthew Tkachuk's the best overall player, but he's not the best in the series in terms of who wins it. So the best in the series, give it to Jack Eichel or Phil Kessel. There you go. That's my prediction. Knights in 7.
Okay, I'm going to win with the Panthers. They're going to win their first ever Stanley Cup. And who's going to be raising it for the Panthers? You know, I'm going to have to go with who's been leading them their way the whole entire time. And I'm going to mispronounce it. You're going to get it right. Alexander Barkov.
Alexander Barkov.
Barkov.
Yeah, Alexander Barkov.
Well, I was watching the games, and it felt like every single time the broadcaster said his name, it was a different pronounce. It was pronounced a different way.
Okay. Well, so who do you have winning? Panthers?
Panthers and Alexander Barkov.
How many games?
I'm going with 7.
Oh, wow.
Wait, no, sorry, 5.
5. Okay, Panthers in 5, Knights in 7. Aiden, just give us a simple one. Who's winning?
The Panthers.
How many games?
Like 6.
Okay, Panthers in 6. There you go. All right. Should I handle the next one?
Yes,
Please, Benjamin.
All right, because it is tennis. Yay. Okay, so tennis's brightest stars take the clay in Paris. We've seen big upsets such as Daniel Medvedev went down to the world number 172 yesterday. That's a really big upset right there, people. That'd be if like Penn State lost to Tulsa or something. It's really random, but it's a big upset. That's the point. This is the first time in 18 years that the French Open won't have Nadal because he had to withdraw due to an injury. So he picked up an injury last year. Nadal, again, one of the most famous tennis players, very famous, made really famous by this tournament. 18 years straight in this tournament. He's only lost 1 match, but the first time he's had to withdraw. So
wait, Benjamin, can I say something?
Next year's going to be his last year.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Please let me talk, because I don't want you to be a douchebag. Was that a good one? Like, deuce?
Oh, I get it. So it is sure to be an interesting tournament this year, and it is completely wide open. Anybody can win because Djokovic is playing, but he is currently kind of hurt. So right now, if I am the French Open, and if you care, I'm looking at Alcaraz, the world number 1 Alcaraz Garcia, or I'm going to be looking for Djokovic, of course. And then on the women's side, I like Coco Gauff in that. I think she's going to surprise a lot of people and do well. If not, it's Swiatek. That's a tough name to pronounce. Iga Swiatek from Poland. She's the world number 1 in the women's side of the game, and I think that she's going to have a great tournament. But I'm going to give it to Coco Gauff. So
yeah,
that's my little French Open predictions.
It's been a long time since I watched tennis, and I'm finally going to be watching it. High stakes down in Paris. Get it? It's been a long time.
Yeah, and also
do you get it? The pun? It's been.
No.
Oh, I thought that was like a tennis thing. Because I looked up tennis puns and it said it's been a long time.
Okay, I see what you're going for.
Okay.
Yeah, but long story short, if you're interested in watching that, you can catch all of the matches on Tennis Channel. But if you don't have that, you can catch the earlier matches on Peacock and the later matches, such as the semifinals and finals, quarterfinals, on NBC. So there you go. That's where you can watch that. Should be about every morning. Is when those will be on. So it's rolling right now. So yeah, that's a little French Open. Let's move on to MLB. Alex, you can take back over.
Okay, so now with MLB, the MLB season rolls on. The Yankees have made a push for the playoffs while the Padres continue to struggle. Is it time to be concerned about the Padres? Meanwhile, the Athletics are scheduled to break the loss total in a season, but they're actually doing good. They're actually winning. Yeah, Braves twice. Yeah. It's been a disaster for the for Oakland, whether it's through attendance or the move to Las Vegas lurking. It sure has not been a season to remember for Athletics fans and players. Meanwhile, the Rays have remained the best team in baseball despite coming back down to earth and losing a couple of games.
What do you guys think about the Padres? Are you concerned about the Padres at all?
I mean, yeah, certainly.
Taking them a long time to get going here.
Yeah, margin, the margin, I guess you'd say, the margin mistakes are very limited, and I'd say they used up all their, I guess, bad losses. So now they got to turn up things, or they're not going to be getting in playoffs. Saying kind of to the bottom of the power rankings, bottom of real rankings, and just kind of just down on everything. What I would say, just kind of pitiful.
Yeah. Yeah, the Padres, they've really struggled. I mean, Soto has not looked sharp. Tatis has not been the best. Machado's hurt. I mean, it's really not been a good season. And I would have thought that by now, surely they would have figured it out. But clearly they have not. They're not even in the playoff picture. And for the third highest payroll in baseball, that's absolutely unacceptable. So there you go. I'm not like in a panic. I actually kind of still think that they're going to make the playoffs, but I just don't see this team making a far run. They don't look in sync. Like they just don't look. They don't look connected. And also the other thing is you have all their players. Soto's batting like 184, right? And you have all these players, and then they're losing the game to the Dodgers, right? Like 8-2, and they're over there laughing in the dugout. Like, nothing's happening. And I just think that that's just a really bad look. Personally, it just kind of seems like they paid a bunch of, people millions of dollars and they just aren't taking it quite, seriously. In my opinion, personally, I just do not see this team making it that far just because I think there's a lack of effort right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. And do you have anything to say? And we can kind of turn ties with another question, kind of going the opposite way.
I agree with Benjamin.
Okay, kind of turning ties here. The Rays obviously are the number one team. They're kind of, I wouldn't say slowing down, but they're not as a roll as they were earlier in the season. Do you see any other team anytime soon passing them?
Yeah, I was looking at the standings, and the Texas Rangers actually look real good this year. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers kind of gave them a little bit of a challenge. Even not anytime soon, but I mean, I think eventually, I know the Braves have lost a couple games, but, if Acuna keeps his MVP season going, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves could seriously actually make a little bit of a run. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. You got the Rangers, Orioles, maybe seeing the Dodgers, but especially the Braves. They're kind of struggling a little bit, but you can't struggle forever, and that's kind of the motto I've been kind of saying here. Speaking up for the Braves, but I think the Rays gonna have a tough spot holding it against them. They certainly can do it, but if any team can, I would say the Rangers. The just got injured on the injury list for 15 days. But I don't think they'll play too much big of a role for the Rangers. Rangers have just been too good for their opponents.
Yeah.
Aiden, do you have any?
Aiden, do you see any team being the best in the big leagues by the end of the year?
Like what league?
The MLB?
Like any like surprises?
No, never mind. Just move on to the next one.
Oh gosh, Aiden, do you ever pay attention?
Unbelievable, Aiden. Move on to the next one.
All right, so Benjamin, you were obviously gone from last week podcast. I don't know if you ever watched it, but anyway, sorry to break the news to you that you said that we were glad you were finally gone. So we talked all balls for about 35 minutes, and let's continue that on. Was that okay with you? I don't know if you ever watched it, but we went behind your back.
No, I know.
Okay.
Let's talk balls. Let's go.
Okay, so first let's talk some balls. They just had the On3 in convention in Nashville. Certainly, we're looking good here. And these recruits, they're gonna have to get some recruiting investigation on us. Right now, we're number 8, and we can dominate this 2024 class with 5-star defensive lineman William Narani, 5-star linebacker Sammy Brown. They're all looking to go to us, and they're probably going to go to us. 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews. 5-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo. 4-star edge Jordan Ross. 4-star defensive line Kamarion Franklin. 4-star safety D'Amelio Jones. 4-star wide receiver Amari Jefferson. 4-star cornerback Caleb Beasley, all leading the way in the 2024 class. Certainly more to come. And Sammy Brown, we're just dominating. We're on pace to have we're gonna have two 5-star defensive line and two 4-star defensive line. We're on pace to have the best defensive line and wide receiver class ever in Tennessee history, and maybe even in college history. We're dominating. Who do you think you are, Georgia and Alabama? We get the wide receivers, we get the defensive linemen, and that's all I say. And talking balls, baby. And they've all showed entrance. Ryan Wingo was put on the rock. He loved that. Sammy Brown made his official visit. All these guys are making their visits in the next 2 weeks. So if you're going to Knoxville, go say what up to them. Massive 2024 class. And athlete Boo Carter and offensive line Ronan O'Connell. And those are all the crystal ball predictions we're going to get. And obviously, those are not right. But all of those guys have shown verbal entrance to Tennessee. And why not get more? As we run this 5-star class. Let's go! As we can have the trio with Nico Imavalieva, 5-star quarterback, 5-star wide receiver Ryan Wingo, 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews. Oh, guys, okay.
Okay, college baseball now?
Oh, yeah. Wait, since when are they making a Raising Cane's in Nashville? Do you see the video?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, no, I can't say anything, but I'll tell you guys actually about that after. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Okay, yeah, can you... Okay. Alright, I'm kind of out of breath. Give me a second. Okay, now let's talk college baseball. Obviously, the selection show that happened Monday at 11 o'clock Central Time. Certainly wasn't the best thing for the scenarios. SEC kind of dominated, but some SEC teams got it hard, like Vanderbilt, South Carolina got it kind of easy. Tennessee certainly got it hard. So I'll kind of explain how the tournament works, and we can kind of get onto that. So regionals is June 2nd to the 5th. So anyway, 4 teams are going to be in it. Double elimination. And anyway, that's how it is. And then Super Regionals, and then the World Series in Omaha. And whoever comes out on top is your 2023 Division I NCAA baseball champion.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I see, Vandy kind of got an easy draw. Tennessee's draw was a little bit tougher, so that's kind of my big.
No, I think Vanderbilt got it pretty hard, actually.
It's tricky, but I feel like Tennessee's, it's tricky.
Yeah, I'd say Tennessee has the trickiest. And I don't want to be biased, because I normally am. But yeah, that's certainly tricky.
Yeah.
I had five underrated teams, and 4 of those teams are in the regional, and that is not good. So we'll get in that separately in a second when we kind of get in predictions. But Vanderbilt, I think they're gonna have some good opponents. Xavier's really good. Eastern Illinois is not a team to sleep on. They've only lost 19 games and coming off some good victories. Oregon especially really good, but Vanderbilt's coming out the SEC. I would say they're one of the hottest teams in the tournament.
They just won the SEC championship.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you. Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is the best at baseball.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Tennessee runs. Tennessee.
You can keep on talking about that, but simply just look at championships versus your championships, and you guys didn't even make it to Omaha last year, right? I mean, that's one of the biggest choke jobs you can think of, right? One of the best teams in all of college baseball.
No, we were actually the best team ever. Actually making a documentary.
It didn't even make it to Omaha. I mean, that's not acceptable.
Okay, my computer was a little bit dirty. I'm gonna go clean it off with my broom because we swept y'all this year, correct?
That has nothing to do with what I'm trying to say.
Well, you said we're better, so prove it. We just swept y'all this year. Get my broom. Sweep. Y'all a little bit dirty.
Okay. I mean, I don't really care because if you look...
The head-to-head matches.
What counts as championships, and you guys just don't win championships in baseball.
Yeah, championships are not against us. Head-to-head champions.
What?
Head-to-head. Head-to-head, we're better. Head-to-head.
Okay. That doesn't really... I don't care about that.
In the last 10 games against Tennessee, we've won 9 of them.
Okay. I mean, I don't care because if you look at the championships, SEC championship, college baseball championship,
you're 2022 SEC baseball champion.
I think pretty much anybody that you ask will say that Vanderbilt is flat out a better baseball program than Tennessee at the moment.
Who produced the first player to go to the big leagues from last year's draft?
I guess Tennessee.
Tennessee. Who produced for the...
nothing to do with what we're talking about.
For the 2021 draft. Tennessee.
I can't win with y'all because y'all are so biased. But
where did the pitcher for the 2020 draft? Tennessee.
With me.
The last 3 top pitchers to go to the big leagues first pitched at Tennessee for a year or more. That's what Tony Vitello and Frank Anderson has done. Something that Vanderbilt Dansby Swanson hasn't.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad that you found something that you're better at, but I mean, honestly, if you just look at flat out championships, the goal in college baseball is to produce big league players and to produce champions, right? Vanderbilt has produced big league players, and those big league players turn into champions, right?
No, they
and the
suck.
other thing is Vanderbilt also has flat out way more championships, probably. So I just think in terms of like baseball, obviously Tennessee has way more overall.
And ever. Florida's better than y'all. Tennessee runs the South. Tennessee runs the world.
Okay. All right. I quit with y'all. So let's just move on. Let's move on to predictions because this is going to go nowhere. All right. Predictions. So do you want me to read them or do you want to read them?
Can you read them?
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Stanley Cup. Panthers. I don't know why we put these in sections, but Panthers and Knights game number 1. I'm going to go with the Knights on that one. Who do you guys
I'm
have?
going to go with the Knights.
I'm going with the Panthers.
Okay. Panthers versus Knights game 2. I'm going to go with the Panthers.
I'm also going to go with the Panthers.
Knights.
All right. Heat versus Nuggets game 1. I got the Nuggets.
I also have the Nuggets.
I also have Nuggets. And
yeah.
We can go ahead for the second one. I also have Nuggets.
Okay, Heat versus the Nuggets. Game 2, I got the Nuggets.
Game 2, I also have the Nuggets.
All right, let's go.
Wait. Sorry.
All games are free to watch on Apple TV, by the way. So
can I say something real quick?
City versus New England. I'm gonna go with NYCFC.
I'm gonna go with New York City.
Do we need to say our game of the week to watch?
That's okay. I'll tell you really quick. Watch for my I kind of like games of the week. Go watch the French Open. Watch something new. That's all I'm saying. Go watch that.
I'd watch Tennessee versus Clemson.
NBA Finals game 1 might be my game of the week.
I'd say watch Tennessee versus Clemson Saturday.
Okay.
I'd say watch the Heat versus Nuggets.
Okay, Seattle versus Portland in the MLS. So
I had New England.
Portland Timbers. This is a big rivalry, big derby. I'm gonna go with the Seattle Sounders.
I'm gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks as well.
I'm going with the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay, Cincinnati against Chicago. Such a random game. I guess I'll go with Cincinnati.
I'm also gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm going with the Cincinnati Reds here. Good team.
All right.
Jonathan Indigo is going to tear up this game.
FC Dallas versus Nashville SC. I got Nashville SC.
I also have the Nashville Sounds.
I also got the Nashville Predators.
All right, let's move on to MLB in the series here. We have Milwaukee against the Cincinnati Reds here. I'm going to go with the Reds in that series.
I'm also going to go with the Reds.
Going with the Milwaukee Brewers.
All right. Marlins against the Athletics. I got the
Marlins.
Marlins. Well, no, actually, I'm going with the Athletics. They're looking good.
Cardinals against the Pirates.
I'm also going to go with the Pirates.
I'm going with Cardinals.
All right. Phillies against the Nationals. Give me the Nationals.
Also, I want give me the Nationals.
I got the Phillies. I don't want to pretend they're good for the pretenders.
All right.
Last time they were relevant is when Vanderbilt was good in football. Oh yeah, that was never.
The Rays against the. I know you're gonna put that. The Rays against the Red Sox. I got the Red Sox.
I also have the Red Sox.
I had the Rays. I can see a sweep
against the Rangers. I got the Rangers.
I also have the Rangers.
I also have the Rangers.
All right, the Braves against the Diamondbacks. I got
Dang
the
it!
Diamondbacks.
Me and Benjamin were on a streak of getting the same predictions, but I'll take the Braves.
I got the Braves.
All right, the Yankees. Is that the Yankees and the Dodgers, right?
Yes.
Okay, Yankees and Dodgers. I got the Yankees.
I have the Dodgers.
I have the Dodgers too.
All right. I think Alex, you got to take over here because we have college softball. Oh yeah, okay. College softball stakes are higher as the final 8 teams travel to Oklahoma City to become one step closer to the champions. Alabama against Tennessee in college softball. I got Tennessee in this one.
And all of these games are Thursday. So today, probably, if you're watching this on June 1st.
Yep. All right, Tennessee in the first game. Who do you guys have? Alabama versus Tennessee.
I have your Tennessee Vols.
We knew it. Aiden,
Tennessee.
Who do you have? All right, Stanford against Oklahoma. I got Oklahoma. I actually was on an airplane and I watched Oklahoma against Clemson. It was actually kind of entertaining. So I got Oklahoma.
You know what's entertaining? A Oklahoma versus Tennessee 1-4 match as Oklahoma beats Stanford.
I also have Oklahoma.
All right, Florida State against Oklahoma State. I got Florida State.
I also have Florida State.
Oklahoma runs softball as they win Oklahoma State.
This is. I don't think we've ever picked college softball on here. This is kind of interesting. So Utah against Washington. Let's go with Utah, baby. Let's go with the Utes. The 15 seed. Am I correct about that? Or the 15 rank?
Yes.
Man, yeah. Let's go to Utah. Give me Utah.
I'm gonna go with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going with the Washington too. Okay.
All right, college baseball. Alex, you got to take over now.
Okay, college baseball. I will say a region, and I'll say the 4 teams are in the region, and we will say who comes out as the best team from that region. So,
All right.
So make sure, guys, y'all just write down who's gonna be the winner, and it may be a little bit delay. Wait, Benjamin, can you do me a favor? Can you write down whoever wins, so I don't have to go back and forth, but I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. For the Winston-Salem region, the number 1 overall seed Wake Forest versus George Mason, Northeastern, and Maryland.
Maryland.
I'm gonna go with Wake Forest.
Wake Forest too.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, next one, Alex.
Okay, the Tuscaloosa region, Alabama as the 16 overall seed. Nichols, Troy, and Boston College.
Alabama.
I'm gonna go with Alabama.
Going with Boston College as they're the number 17 seed, and they're going to be really good.
Okay, next one.
Now for the Miami, Florida region. Obviously, you got Miami, Florida, Maine, Louisiana, and Texas.
Oh, yeah. Hook 'em. Let's go Texas.
I'm gonna go with Miami.
I'm going with the number 9 seed, Miami.
Okay. Next one.
Now for the Stanford region. The Stanford are number 8 seed overall. Stanford versus San Jose State versus Cal State Fullerton and Texas A&M.
Easy. Stanford.
Texas A&M.
Going with your Aggies.
I got Stanford in that. Okay, hold on. Next one.
Now the Baton Rouge Regional, LSU is the number 5 team. Certainly not a team to overlook. LSU are in the region. Tulane, Sam Houston, and Oregon State. I'm going with LSU.
I'm also going to go with LSU.
I got Oregon State.
In the Lexington Regional, kind of a lot of controversy around here, as Kentucky is the number 12 seed. Kentucky, Ball State, Indiana, and West Virginia.
Who you guys got?
Good. I got Kentucky.
I got West Virginia.
Okay, I got Indiana. Okay, next one.
Auburn. For the Auburn Regional, this really frustrates me. I don't know if you know this, but they have one tie. They're 34, 21, and 1. So that really makes me mad just to look at. So Auburn is hosting versus Penn, Samford, and Southern Miss.
I got Southern Miss.
Samford.
Samford?
Yeah. Auburn's the 13 seed. Yes. All right, now the 4 overall seed, the best region out there, I would say. I don't know if y'all have any objections.
Okay.
Do y'all have any objections?
No.
This is definitely probably the best region. Clemson and the Clemson Regional, Clemson, Lipscomb, Charlotte, and Tennessee. I'm going. Your 2023 regional champs, Tennessee Volunteers.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
All right, now for the.
Hold on, I never made my pick. I'm going. You know what?
He's gonna go with Lipscomb.
Here's my thing. Nobody can argue. Okay, we're just gonna move on to the next region because I'm about to get pummeled for this. I'm gonna go with the Clemson Tigers because Tennessee always crumbles at this stage. Give me Clemson. They never fail me. Every year Tennessee crumbles at this stage. Let's go. Roll it on. Next one.
So you know, Clemson hasn't won one in the last 4 years, and Tennessee's won the last 4.
Next one.
In this stage, Tennessee always fails. Yeah, right. They haven't failed the last 4 or 5 years. All right. Interesting match here in Gainesville for the Gainesville Regional. The 2 overall seed, Florida A&M, Texas Tech, and UConn.
I'm gonna go with Florida.
Florida.
Okay.
Now, y'all know where South Carolina's at? What city?
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called?
What's it called again?
Oh, come on! I should know that.
Isn't it? Wait a minute. It's in Columbia, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Columbia.
Okay, the Columbia Regional. South Carolina, Central Con State, NC State, and Campbell. Tennessee had Campbell in the region last year. Campbell did good. But I'm going with Campbell defeating South Carolina. They should have hosted.
I'm gonna go with South Carolina.
I'm gonna go with South Carolina as well.
All right, now for the Conway. Coastal Carolina is technically in Conway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It is like because the Myrtle Beach Bowl always like messes me up. Coastal Carolina, Rider, University of Northern California Western, I think, and Duke. It's UNCW.
Coastal Carolina.
I got Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina. Now for Benjamin's favorite, the Virginia Regional. What city's Virginia in, if y'all know? Charlottesville Regional. Virginia, Army, West Point, Oklahoma, and East Carolina.
Let's go Who's. Give me Virginia.
I'm gonna go with Virginia.
I don't want to say it, but Virginia. Next region, the Oklahoma State Regional. Oral Roberts, Washington, and Dallas Baptist University. I'm going with Dallas Baptist University.
I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt.
I'm gonna go. Did you even name Vanderbilt?
No, I never said Vanderbilt. Oh, sorry, I skipped that.
Vanderbilt is in this one.
No, I skipped one. Sorry. Okay, sorry guys. Vanderbilt in the Nashville Regional. Vanderbilt, Eastern Illinois, Xavier, Oregon.
I have Vanderbilt.
I'll go. Yeah, you guys go first.
I'll go with Vanderbilt.
Never. That is shocking. Aiden, who do you got?
I have Vanderbilt.
Okay, I got Vanderbilt too. I cannot believe you guys picked Vanderbilt. All right.
Okay, so now for the Oklahoma State Regional. Oklahoma State, Oral Roberts, Washington, and Dallas Baptist University.
Washington.
I have Oklahoma State.
Dallas Baptist. Okay, now for the Oh, I do not know how to pronounce this name. I will not just go ahead and pronounce it. Indiana State Regional, the 16 seed. Wait, no. The 14 seed overall. A lot of people thought Tennessee was going here. Anyway, Indiana State, Wright State, North Carolina, and Iowa.
I'm gonna go with Iowa.
North Carolina. Aiden, what'd you say? Alright, the last and final regional. Last but certainly not least.
Hey, wait. Hey, you said North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay.
What's Arkansas?
Starkville, I think.
Stark. No, that's Wait.
Oh, no, that is Mississippi. It doesn't matter. Just continue.
Okay, the Arkansas regional is Arkansas, Santa Clara, Arizona,
Fayetteville.
and TCU.
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Fayetteville.
Oh, yeah, TCU.
Yeah, we're in baseball, not football. Arkansas.
I'm gonna go with Arkansas.
Okay. All right. Is that all the predictions?
Yes, and we can say our closer. Benjamin, you want to say it?
All right. Well, thank you. That was a long podcast, I think. I don't know how long that was, but
yeah, that was hour and 6 minutes.
all right. So there you go, closer. So if you have any questions or comments, or you just want to be on the show, please email us at tlease5588@gmail.com. Again, tlease5588@gmail.com, or just use our link tree. Listen on Spotify, like and sub on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Yes, thank you. I'm Alex. I'm out.
Aiden. Go Balls.
1 second. Let me take Benjamin out the call. Just so I can say it. Go Vols!